the return of a Canadian institution. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is back. Tell a friend. Sold out crowd shaking.
Creativity. It's a known fact that grass increases creativity from 8 to 11 times. In fact, everyone finds that they're more creative stoned. That's straight. So remember me, R-I-G-U? N-E-U-A-N-A. Marijuana. Marijuana.
Mamma mia, indeed. Grazie mille to the WWE fans in Bologna, Italia for breaking out the Mamma Mia chant during SmackDown last Friday. It's nice to see I'm not forgotten nearly 5 years after leaving the company. Speaking of a WWE, happy birthday to Hall of Famer Mark Calloway. You know him better as The Undertaker, who turns 60 today. And a Mamma Mia was in order after what happened on the wrestling mat over the weekend in one of the most jaw-dropping upsets college wrestling has ever seen. Oklahoma State's Wyatt Hendrickson pulled off the impossible. He toppled one-time WWE recruit, Olympic gold medalist, and two-time NCAA champ Gable Steveson in the NCAA heavyweight final with a last-second takedown that sent shockwaves through Wells Fargo Arena. The final score, 5-4. Well, I was ringside in Las Vegas on Saturday night calling Premier Boxing Champions on Prime Video. In a night hotter than a jalapeño's armpit, unified 154-pound champion Sebastian the Towering Inferno Fundora extinguished Cordell Booker in just 4 rounds, delivering jabs sharper than a porcupine's backside and uppercuts that could launch a rocket. Fundora holds half the crown in one of the deepest divisions in the sport. Meanwhile, the final bell has tolled for a true titan. George Foreman, Olympic gold medalist, two-time heavyweight champion, and living testament to the power of reinvention, passed away at the age of 76 last Friday. He came from the streets of Houston with fists like thunder, toppling Joe Frazier to announce his reign. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! He fell to Ali and Zaire in the infamous rope-a-dope match, but rose again, not just as a fighter, but as a father, a preacher, and a beacon of second chances. At the age of 45, in the same trunks he wore 2 decades earlier against Ali, he rewrote history, becoming the oldest man to ever become heavyweight champion with one right hand, turning back time and doubt in a single punch against Michael Moore. He sold 100 million grills, but never cooked the books on character. He was feared, then loved, silent, then smiling. A knockout artist with God in his corner and grace in his heart. George Foreman didn't just fight in the ring. He fought for purpose, and he won. Rest in peace, Big George. Your story will echo forever. Foreman went from blue collar to being a blue blood in boxing, and it's looking like a very blue March. Even with all 4 #1 seeds in the NCAA men's basketball tournament still dancing, Duke just put the rest of the bracket on high alert with an 89-66 demolition of Baylor. That wasn't just a win, it was indeed a message. BetMGM currently has the Blue Devils at plus 200 to win it all. But honestly, that might be underselling them. Next up, a heavyweight clash with Arizona, who barely survived Oregon in last night's late-night nail-biter. It is indeed a Sweet 16 time. Well, let's talk about something I find to be very sweet, my dopamine-fueled pastime known as eating. A little too much sugar, but you get the drift. But don't worry, this isn't a guilt trip. It's a glow-up for your brain, body, and maybe even your soul. First up, Stanford professor Anna Lembke, author of Dopamine Nation, drops a truth bomb about the balance between pleasure and pain. She says With intermittent exposure to pain, our natural hedonic set point gets weighted to the side of pleasure, such that we become less vulnerable to pain and more able to feel pleasure over time. Translation: sometimes choosing discomfort, like skipping the cupcake or sweating it out at the gym, actually resets our ability to feel real joy. You don't need to live in a dopamine buffet to feel good. You just need a little balance, like broccoli and Beyonce. Then we bring in cognitive neuroscientist Dr. Carolyn Leaf, who reminds us that eating isn't just physical, it's mental. Thinking, she says, plays a dominant role in eating. Toxic thoughts can negate the positive effects of good nutrition. So yes, you can eat kale until you turn green, but if you're doing it while mentally trash-talking yourself, you're kind of missing the point. What you think while you eat might be just as important as what you eat. And rounding it out, we've got holistic health advocate Nancy S. Muir, who says it plain: eating is more than a fix. It's nature's way to nourish cells. It's a way to extend life. Don't give a natural body unnatural food. Boom! Nature knows what's up. Your body isn't a vending machine, though mine has been resembling one lately. It's a miracle wrapped in skin and weird cravings. So why not feed it like you actually want it to stick around? The bottom line: mindful eating isn't about deprivation. It's about devotion to your health, your mood, and your future self. So choose slowly, think kindly, and maybe don't text while eating. Multitasking isn't mindfulness. Well, in music news, that helps keep me mindful. Cyndi Lauper may have been thrown out of jazz school for sticking with a rock band. Well, let's be honest, that rebellious spirit is exactly what made her a legend. The voice behind Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and time after time is once again up for a spot in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Her second nomination after appearing on the ballot in 2023. And whether she makes the final cut or not, Lauper is making sure her fans get one last chance to see her shine. She's hitting the road this fall for her Girls Just Want to Have Fun farewell tour, coming to the Hollywood Bowl. Hoping to see my first concert in the Hollywood Bowl. And if it's for Cyndi Lauper, who helped professional wrestling with the Rock and Wrestling Connection back in '84, then I'm all for it. It's her first major tour in over a decade and her final. The North American run kicks off October 18 in Montreal, hits major cities like New York, LA, and Chicago, wrapping November 26th in the Windy City. So if you've ever belted out true colors in your car with the windows down, this is your moment. Cyndi Lauper's going out the way she came in: bold, brash, and gloriously unapologetic. Finally, an LA man with a turtle hidden in his pants was arrested by police after he tried boarding a plane. Did you hear about this story? He's been charged with reptile dysfunction. Today's motivation comes from Hollywood icon, comedic legend, and wellness advocate Goldie Hawn, who said, "The only thing that will make you happy is being happy with who you are." And let's be honest, if you can't enjoy your own company, how do you expect anyone else to survive a road trip with you? Happiness isn't about having it all. It's about liking the person who's doing the having. And let me reach down and pick up these names I'm going to drop. Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell. Yeah, I met them in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada, at the MSA Arena in Abbotsford, a building that I spent many nights in, announcing hockey games for the Abbotsford Pilots, wrestling matches for All-Star Wrestling, calling lacrosse games, announcing the circus. So many memorable moments at the MSA Arena in Abbotsford, British Columbia, and I also met Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn there as they were attending their son Wyatt's hockey games back in the day when he was a goalie and before he became a thespian. All right, thank you for tuning in to the Maurologue. Now, go out there, hold the door open for someone, share a smile, and remember, happiness isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. Stay strong, stay kind, and keep fighting the good fight.